I think we're good to go. Is it working now? I don't even know they can see me like this. Did we even do this properly? We're supposed to do it the other way, weren't we? That's fine, that's fine. Where are you? Yo! What is up? It's your boy Kakaroto, aka Coco. Welcome back to what's gonna be cooking Macanonies guides, I guess. If you're new to the channel, consider liking. The fuck is that? Oh, it's from what I shaved. Fucking crusty ass. Welcome to the stream. If you're new to the channel, consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that notification bell. And if you already subscribed to the channel, go ahead and hit that like button. Fuck happened there? I think it's from what I shaved. But welcome to the stream if you just joined. So what am I gonna be doing today? I'm gonna be doing pretty much we're gonna be doing breakfast. I like to call it French sausages, I guess. You're gonna need pretty much your hot dogs, your eggs, your oil, this little bullshit right here to put the hot dogs in it. It has to be cleaned though. Make sure you clean that shit and you wipe it off, because if you don't, it's gonna be a whole bunch of little cockroaches, carcasses that are in there and whatnot. And you're gonna need a couple of condiments. You're gonna need adobo goya. It's gotta be pink salt, and it's gotta be Himalayan pink salt. You're gonna need basil and some paprikas. You gotta need paprikas. And last but not least, this is the thing that's gonna give it the flavor. The little coloring bullshit. You're also gonna need what's it called? The board. A little board just for you to cut your stuff in so you don't mess it up. And well, yeah. Where the hell is the thing? And you're gonna need potato bread. You gotta go with the potato bread. We already spoke about why we need the potato bread. So what up? It's your boy Marcus. How you doing, my boy? Let me see. What the hell? How you doing, my boy? Well, welcome to the stream. So we just got started. So like I said, we're just probably gonna start off slow. And I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with these things. Again, it's just a really quick breakfast little tutorial thing you guys wanted to see. It's nothing out of the ordinary. It's usually something that you could do really quickly for your like relatives and whatnot. So like I said, you just need the hot dogs, the eggs, and the bread. That's all you need. I was gonna do some French fries in there too, but I said, you know what, it's a little bit too much, so we don't wanna do all that. We're not gonna turn the pan. It's gotta be a ceramic coating pan, so just make sure that so it doesn't stick. We're not gonna turn that on just yet, but we're just gonna cut our hot dogs, and I'm gonna show you pretty much what I'm gonna do with that. So, and I'm gonna show you real quick how I'm gonna cut them too, because you gotta cut them a certain way. If not, it doesn't work that way. All right. Are these hot dogs open? I don't think they were. No, they smell good. It's good hot dogs. These are good hot dogs. We're gonna have to wash our hands afterwards, so just we make sure that the things don't get messed up and whatnot. So, anyways, so first thing I like to do is just in order for us to cook them, we're gonna go ahead and just cut them in half. That's the first thing I like to do. I could cut them in 3/4, but because the purposes of the tutorial, I'm just gonna go ahead and cut them in half like that. And usually I like doing 4s, so I do 4s. And then this is the important thing, because you want all the juices to go inside, right? So I'm a little bit lazy. Usually I just cut them one by one, but this is what I like to do. I go like this. Don't cut all the way through, right? And then you're gonna go like this, and you're gonna roll. You're gonna literally take this and just flip them over. You flip them over. I know they look like little. Let me stop. And then just do like little cuts, because remember, this is where the juices are gonna go in, the flavors and whatnot. Then you grab that bitch, throw them up in the pan. Not the pan, I mean the little red thing. All right, that's done. Beautiful. How many people are we serving? Let me see. We got 1, 2, 3. I think it's just me and my mom. Everybody else went away. I don't know where the hell they went. But so yeah, we're just doing right now the hot dogs. We're not gonna do that many. Again, the first one is always gotta be like this. One little sliver. Don't ask me why. That's just my preference because I like them to have like a little design when I'm done cooking. And then on the other side, just go whoop, whoop, whoop. And again, you're not cutting all the way through. You're just doing a little, like a little sliver. All right. So now we're done with the knives. I don't think we need the knives anymore. Probably not. Well, we're gonna hold on to it just in case. I need to wash my hands though. A little bit of hot dogs, Macanonies. Somebody's probably watching like, what the hell are they random hot dogs? Just in the middle of the stream. What's the point of having hot dogs right there? Welcome to the stream if you just joined. Alright, so that's out the way. Alright, we're gonna go ahead and take this now. So how many, let me see. How many are there eating? Let me see, that's gonna be 1 portion, 2 portions, yeah. All right, so this is where the magic begins, kinda, sort of. So what you want to do is just put them in this thing. You're gonna grab some adobo. You gotta start actually. The salt is at the very end because you don't want a lot of the salt to go inside the middle of the hot dog, and then it tastes like too salty. But then you're gonna be like, what the hell? It's just like salty as fuck. You want to make sure you put like a little thin layer on top, just a little thin layer, not too much. You don't want to overwhelm the freaking hot dog. So remember, some of this stuff is gonna get like really crusty. And the middle is going to be like, you know. So right now it doesn't look too appetizing, right? It doesn't look too appetizing. It looks like, you know, regular hot dogs. Go ahead and put your pink Himalayan salt in there. Again, not too much. That's enough. You're going to grab your basil. Not too much. You're going to put more basil towards the end. Just a little bit. You're going to put a little bit of paprika. You got to put some paprika up in that bitch. That's it. A little pinch of paprika. You gotta put these hot dogs somewhere else. I be that man on the moon. I'm up on the moon. Ooh. Alright. And then this is the piece of resistance right here. See this? This is gonna give us a little color that we need. So what I like to do is put a little bit of oil, just a little bit, just splash it. On some Gordon Ramsay, just put a little bit of olive oil up in that bitch. And now you want to be very generous with this. This you want to be very generous with. You definitely want to go ahead and sugarcoat that. We're going to use one hand because we want to keep the other one, you know, clean. So we can go ahead and, you know, do what we got to do here. Go ahead and give that a little stir, a little shaky shake. See, you see how they come out? They start looking a little bit different, right? You got like a little bit of color now. Now again, this is just for breakfast. You want to do like a little fancy version of the regular breakfast. Now you're gonna put a little bit more, not too much. You're probably gonna be left with like half of this little envelope thingy. So you don't want to use the whole thing. Again, you don't want to overwhelm the flavor of this thing, of the hot dogs. So again, give it just a little stir. All right. Your hand's supposed to look like that. If you did a good job, it's supposed to look like that. All right, now we're gonna turn on the. We're gonna put that in medium, a little bit less than medium, not too much. Splash that bitch with oil. Splash that bitch. Dab that bitch. Dab that bitch in oil. All right, we gotta wash our hands. That's what we gotta do right now. Wash them filthy hands. You gotta wash them filthy hands. Always important to wash your hands. Smell like ass and cooking. Sorry, you hear a lot of water in the background, right? I only got 2 hands. Oh, that shit looks like it's hot as hell. Woo! My hands. Ooh, no, baby. A little bit too hot for you, boy. A little bit too hot for you, boy. Yeah, we can get back to the car. Wait, we can get back to the car. All right. So now our hot dogs pretty much look good. Let me see if I can fix this really quick. All right. Beautiful, beautiful. So now everything is pretty much prepared. So now that we have the hot dogs prepared like this, we're just gonna go ahead and put them in here, right? Since it's in medium heat right now, let's put this away. We're gonna wash that afterwards. Or take care of your plates afterwards. But because it's in medium heat right now, you see, they're just gonna go ahead and start cooking. And you'll see how they turn out towards the end. So now you're gonna go ahead and just, whoa. There you go. So they're gonna just cook there. They're gonna cook there for just a little bit, and we're just gonna let it rock. Don't mind the other pans. I had them there because we were cooking something yesterday, and that's pretty much what we ended up doing. Pokemaster, oh my god. What up, how you doing? Welcome to the stream. So we pretty much did the first part of the stream, which was just, you know, cooking the hot dogs to the French hot dogs. We got the eggs, which we're gonna prepare later on. I'm gonna show you how to prepare the eggs really good. Again, you're gonna need a little bit of paprikas. And at the end, we're gonna pretty much top it off with some nice and toasty potato bread. So stick around if you're curious to see how these hot dogs end up turning out. Again, this is more like a little breakfast tutorial. What kind of spoon do I want to use? Even though I should use the spatula, I'm gonna go ahead and use the one that has like a little, you know, little spoon, the big ass spoon that you get your ass whooped with if you behave bad. So you gotta watch out for this one. These are the ones that hurt the most. I usually hide them when I was a little kid because I used to get my ass whooped with these. Like, don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. These shits hurt in your ass, or when they hit you in the head, like, oh. All right. So now you just want to give that a little stir. Give that a little stir. You see how that sounds? That crispiness, that sizzling. Let me show you guys. Now, that doesn't look good. I wish you guys can smell it. You see those little lines that we cut in the hot dogs? Those little lines that we cut? That's where the juices and the oil is gonna go in and finish cooking the hot dog from the inside. You see how we didn't cut all the way through? And the basil itself is gonna be cooking itself. It's not gonna burn. That's the indicator that I use to see if I burned it, or not. But you kind of want to toast it a little bit too. You don't want to toast it too much. I remember we gave this color so that way it looked a certain way. Towards the end, the way I like to make these, I like them to look not burnt. They're not gonna be burnt, so don't get it wrong. They're not gonna look burnt. The outside's gonna look very crisp. They're gonna look like a darker brick shade type of thing. And you'll see what I mean. One of them I'm gonna just go ahead with the spoon and just cut them in half, and you'll see how it looks on the inside. But it's not gonna be burnt. A lot of people, when they do this, they fuck it up. But you just gotta be constantly moving your hot dogs. You always gotta, you know, shake it at hot dogs. If you shake them with it 3 times, you're playing with it. So now we gotta leave it rest there for a little bit, right? We're gonna do our dishes afterwards, so that's not a big deal. The eggs, the way we're gonna prepare them, it's really, really easy. I like making scrambled eggs by just throwing them inside of a bowl, splitting them up. You could take a little bit of cilantro, put it in that bitch. Oh. Don't die. Die, little sister. Okay, there you go. Now it's not gonna move. Don't be moving. All right, there you go. Perfect. So we're gonna put this in the bowl, cut a little pieces of cilantro, put it in there, mix it up. Not all the way through. We want chunks of the egg in there. And then usually when I cook it, I like leaving a little layer on top, and then we start slowly moving it little by little. See, now I'm hearing a little bit of crunch here in the background. Start moving your hot dogs. Don't forget about your hot dogs. You want to stay close to your hot dogs. The closer you are to your hot dogs, the better. That's how my man says. So you see they're cooking. They're cooking good. Put it back up to medium. It's a lot of lowering and like... It's a lot of lowering and like bringing up the thing. That little flappy flap. It's a little like pulling up the heat and lowering down the heat, putting up the heat, lowering down the heat, but not really. Because you just want to make sure like they get nice and toasty. You want to give them a little bit of if you really want to take it up a notch, you can get close to the pan and like not too close because your face might get burned. But you want to get close and tell it a story. And tell it that you love them, right? There's once was a time a little pig who didn't get killed and he went to live in a forest. The hot dogs responded to those stories. So you see how, look, let me show you really quick. See, now they're starting to get a little bit of a color. You see that little red color right there, like in the little tips? That's pretty much the seasoning, not getting burnt, but getting like fused with the meat. And it's getting like a little bit, that's the flavors. That's the flavors right there. That's the flavors right there. And again, this is not going to be too salty because remember, we did put a little dab of salt. But once it's mixed with all the other spices and herbs, it brings out the flavor of the hot dogs. Because the hot dogs are they already have preservatives, right? They're going to have a whole bunch of stuff. It's not the healthiest snack in the world. But if you have nothing else to eat, we do have something else to eat. But it's breakfast. Who the fuck doesn't eat hot dogs for breakfast? We were going to do ham too, but I just felt like eating hot dogs today. So it's like an alternate version of the salchipapas. That's where it should be. There you go, baby. Oh, you want to see my flabby ass? Alright, so that's going to be cooking there for a moment. So I'm going to go ahead and take out the other one. I'm going to lower this. I'm going to lower the heat on this just a little bit. Keep it on like, you know, medium something. So we're going to keep them there. Go ahead and get your other bowl so you can put your eggs in that bitch. Cooking Macanonies. Bam. It's clean because we just washed this like not so long ago. This is the little version of the other one. You're gonna go ahead and put your egg right there. We need to go ahead and grab some basil, right? Not some basil, let me put my microphone right there. Well, you guys do some ASMR shit right there. I'm gonna leave the thing right here, the microphone, so you guys can hear the cooking delicacies of food ASMR. Oh, you know that's cooking delicious. So here's what you want to do. You're gonna grab your cilantro, right? You want to take a couple of, a little bit of what you're gonna throw. This is cilantro? Oh no, this is fettuccine. Oh, we don't want this shit. That's the wrong herb. Don't mix your herbs. Don't ever mix your herbs. If you put the wrong herbs in some food, they will taste disgusting. And what I mean by that, so imagine you confuse basil or cilantro with mint, and you end up putting that in there. You're gonna be screwed. You're gonna be screwed. Alright. We already washed this, so this is pretty clean. We always wash our vegetables before we put them anywhere. Now what you want to do, grab your scissors, right? And just cut a little piece. This is already clean. Now you want to cut a little piece of this, right? This is pretty much cilantro. You bunch it up with your hands. Don't forget about the hot dogs though, because this shit is going to burn, right? Just keep moving them. Now, the smell of this is just so good. Put this with anything, it's going to enhance the flavors and it's going to just smell really, really good. But I like putting it in the eggs because in the eggs I know they're not going to get too toasted. So what you want to do is watch your fingers. Pretty much just feel where your fingers are and just don't cut them out. As a matter of fact, you might want to do this with a knife. I'm already a pro with this bitch. Thank God I haven't cut my fingers yet. But I use a scissor and I go very slow because again, it's just a herb. It's just a herb. Bam. Put that away. Let's put these herbs away and let's put the mic back on. Again, move your hot dogs. Move your hot dogs. Don't forget about moving your hot dogs. Move your hot dogs. Put the bitch in the corner. Put this bitch in the corner. Nobody puts cocoa in the corner. Nobody. But what up, Pokemaster? How are you doing? And welcome everybody else. Whoop. Alright. So now, this is pretty much what we're working with. We put the cilantro in there. Again, grab a little bit of paprika, not too much. Put a little dab in that bitch. Again, it's just for coloring. Do not, for the love of God, do not put salt on your eggs yet. Salt always goes at the end when they're about to become hard and soft. The salt, if you put the salt in your eggs before you do anything, they're gonna become very liquidy, and it's gonna be horrible. These hot dogs are almost done. Again, you just want to get them a little bit, put them in medium low, and now let the slow cooking do its job. It's gonna start making everything a little bit more. Let me show you guys really quick what that looks like. See? So now they're starting to get that little color. Now let the slow cooking pretty much take over and do what it has to do there. In the meantime, I'm gonna go ahead and grab the eggs. Put the salt to the side because we don't need the salt right now. Put the oil over here. Put this bullshit over here. I don't know what that is. Okay. A little bit of flabby. Okay, good to go. Now, you want to take your hot dogs and put them somewhere else, right? I'm just moving the hot dogs a little bit just to make sure that they're being cooked properly. We're going to put our hot dogs somewhere else in just a bit. Make space for Coco. Lower the heat, lower the heat. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take the eggs and we're going to start cracking them and putting them in here. The garbage. Throw them in the garbage. Oh, did I drop a little piece of egg in there? Oop. Oop. Come here. Throw it in the garbage. So usually 4 to 5 eggs if you're serving it for 2 people. I would say 5 eggs. Throw it in the garbage. Wash your hands. Check the hot dogs. Make sure that they're being cooked properly. Don't let them get burned. The hot dogs are almost done. The hot dogs are literally. Whoops. The hot dogs are done. This is perfect. Mia Khalifa, Mia Khalifa, Mia Khalifa, Mia Khalifa. Who do you think you are? Alright, so the hot dogs are pretty much done. The hot dogs are done. You see how they look a little bit, and I cut this one in half just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Now, I don't know if you guys can see it, but you see the middle looks a little bit pinkish and everything else around it is cooked. That's what you want to see. That's exactly what you want to see. And again, you tilt the pan to the side so that way all the oil can freaking go to the bottom and you don't get too many oily hot dogs. Preferably what I like to do is put a little piece of paper at the bottom so it absorbs all the oil. But because we're not cooking with that much oil right now, it's okay. It's okay. And again, this is not going to be for me, it's going to be for 2 servings. Now, you want to leave that oil there. This oil is the good stuff right here. And at the end, we're gonna cook everything in one pan. And the reason why I'm doing this is because remember, we're not cooking with fish or different types of meat. We're literally cooking all in one same pan with one oil. It's different if you're cooking this for like 3, 4, 5 different people. But if you're just gonna cook it for 1 person, 1 meal, or 2 people, it's perfectly fine. It's not anti-hygienic. It's the same oil. I mean, we're not what's that word? Pescatarian, whatever the hell it's called. All right, get your fork. Where's my motherfucking fork? Alright, we're going to come back over here. Remember, the heat is on low or medium, so that means your eggs are not going to cook too quickly. I'm going to go ahead and take a little fork. Give that shit just a little whisk. Just a little whisk. Not too much. You just want to break the little yellow bullshit. The little baby bird. You want to kill the little baby bird in the middle. And just you know, get him going. Get him going. Alright, that's fine. Alright. Then you want to go ahead, put this over here. And then you just want to go ahead and just grab it and just toss it in there. Alright, see now that that's tossed in there. And what you want to do, grab your spoon, right? Start covering the whole area, right? Bring that oil to the middle. Bring bring your heat a little bit up again. Now it's gonna look like a little tortilla, right? You don't want that. You want to start moving things a little bit, so that way it starts making the scrambled egg. It's gonna look like an omelet almost, but it's not really an omelet. It's almost like a mixture of omelet mixed with omelet mixed with scrambled eggs. So you'll see what I mean in just a little bit. You want to get that structure. You see at the bottom how it starts getting hard really quick. And why I like using a big pan is because it's gonna start creating those layers right off the bat. And you want those layers. You definitely want those layers. And once I start mixing everything together and go back into like a little bit more solid state, then I'm gonna add the salt. But in the meantime, not yet. And the bread we're gonna cook here afterwards as well too. Okay, see now it starts to get a little bit harder. You start mix that shit around. Very careful on low heat. You don't want to raise the heat too much. Then you gotta get your ass burned. You're gonna burn the cilantro. You don't want the cilantro to burn because once the cilantro burns, it's gonna taste disgusting. You want to keep it as fresh as you can in that egg. See now it starts to get a little bit more hard. Here's where you grab the salt. Again, you don't want to put too much salt because remember the hot dogs are the ones that are going to be overwhelming with the flavor. So you don't want to put too much. You want to take just a little pinch of salt, just a little pinch. And you want to sprinkle that bullshit all over the place. And now you just go like this. Turn off your pan right now because it's still going to be hot and the eggs are going to be cooked very quick. Bring that shit all over. Just mix it like that. And boom, you got your scrambled eggs, kind of at the omelette style. Enough salt in it, you should be good. Last thing you want to do. Last thing to finish up the plate, the dinner plate. You want to leave the little pieces of eggs that are stuck in there, not too much. You want to leave it there, and here's the reason why. We're going to cook the bread in here as well too. So you want to take a little bit of your oil. Again, you still have it in low, medium, turn it back on again. Medium, low. Medium, low. You want to keep it at the temperature that it was before. Sprinkle just a little bit, not too much, just a little bit. And what you want to do is just play a little bit like this and just start spreading the oil all over the place. We're gonna use 4 slices. 4 slices. Don't get your fingers burned. 4 slices. So the pan is big enough to put them in here. Delicious. So you're gonna take your 4 slivers, right? You're gonna take one, put it there, and you're gonna just massage the pan just a little bit. Don't get your fingers burned. You wanna massage your pan a little bit. Take the other one, same thing. You want to grab some of that egg that got stuck there and just massage. Massage the pan. Don't get your fingers burned. Put it right there. And then take the other one. Same thing. Massage the pan. And leave that bitch right there. Alright? The eggs came out mad good. You know, raise the heat just a bit. Yeah, don't leave the bread there too long. Don't leave it there too long. Then you're gonna coat the pan again. Watch. You're gonna flip him. Preferably use something else, a spatula, to get these turned over. Again, because I'm cooking in low heat, I'm not gonna get my fingers burnt. But you don't want to toast these too much. You want to have them just enough so that way, you know, there was enough oil underneath, so that way they don't get too oily. You don't want this to be too oily. And then you just want to give it like a little press. Not too much, just a little press. And then the one thing I like to do to finish off the plate, the breakfast. Love you too, Moralito. Love you too. De nada, Moralito, de nada. ¿Qué te lleva? ¿Te sirvo, oíste?
Sí, más tarde voy a la lavandería. No, pues no, voy a darme.
Descansa, descansa. Descansa, descansa. Así es. No hay nadie que te juzga aquí. Ajá. So you want to leave this outside coated with the pepper. That's what I'm sprinkling on right now because the bottom is going to be like really toasted. And that's all you're doing. You're just doing this for aesthetics at this point. Ashkara. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much what we did for the breakfast. Let me go ahead and wash my hands now. I'll let that cook in the meantime while you guys keep watching. Let it cook. The hardest part out of this whole breakfast is just washing the dishes afterwards. That's pretty much the only hard part, is washing the dishes at this point. All right, so pretty much we should be good to go. We should be good to go. The bread. The bread, the eggs, everything is good right now. Everything is pretty much prepared. It's done. And let me go ahead and turn this off. Let me show you pretty much the result. Let me take this away. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, let me go ahead and put this right here. Look at that delicious ass breakfast. That's how you know you did a breakfast perfectly right. You see, the hot dogs came out just perfect. They came out like a nice crispy, they're not burnt. It's cooked right in the center. Everything has the little slivers. You have the eggs cooked perfectly fine, nicely balanced, enough salt. You have the cilantro in there, they're not cooked. And then you got your little toast, right? Your toast is still semi-soft. It's not too, look at the smoke coming out. One side it has a little bit of pepper, the other one doesn't. And yeah, this serves for 2 people. And it's a simple breakfast that you can do. The hardest part is just pretty much washing the dishes. Hopefully you guys enjoy a little cooking tutorial. I'm gonna go munch now and give my mom a little piece of taste of the food. Hopefully you guys enjoyed a little tutorial of cooking macanonies. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you boys and girls next time for more streams. Have a good one. Peace.